what your viewpoint is, where it lies, and how you feel about him. I think that was really fair. When talking about debates and making an impact on the person you're speaking with, is there a time that you can recall a debate or an interview where you feel like you walked away from it being like, wow, I really feel like they understood where I came from and I made a difference?
I mean, I think that happens actually very frequently. Very often those conversations sort of happen offline as opposed to in the middle of the conversation. And there's sort of debates where you're talking to somebody who is famous. It's more frequent there, where somebody will say, oh, that's a good point, and move on. Once people are famous, then they sort of have a stake in being who they are.
Because it's their audience.
Exactly. They're very to say.
They're selling themselves too. Like, I know a lot of people are upset that I'm taking this route, but I can't short myself from learning and inviting these guests on and learning. So if my audience chooses to walk away because I want to learn, that's their decision. I can never force them to listen, but I'm not going to short myself by pleasing my audience. I think my audience is proud of me because I stood up for what I believe in, and I want to learn, and I don't want to stop. But I want to circle back to college, because you made it very clear that they are ruining critical thinking. They are getting in the way of people actually having thoughts for themselves, and they're building more of a victim mentality. But now we have like the Andrew Tate University, we have the Jordan Peterson University. Do you see in the far future that we're going to be moving towards professors and people that we actually care to listen to and enroll our appliances to their degrees and what they want us to teach? And do you think the real universities are coming down because now we're going to realize this is more of a profit machine?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't speak on Jordan's behalf. I will distinguish between what Jordan's doing and what Andrew's doing. I think that Jordan's...
It's the same thing. I'm just kidding.
Jordan's University's actual attempt, I think, to create a corpus sort of classical...
Shirtless with a cigar.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, eating steak. But bloody well. But for Jordan, I think that obviously he's attempting to create a classical corpus of knowledge that's more in line with sort of what universities used to be. Andrew seems more like a let me teach you how to do business kind of thing. Whether I think that that's useful or whether I think that his methodology for doing business are scam or not is between me and him, probably, or between people who use it and him, since they're paying him. But as far as sort of the general overall question as to whether universities themselves are going to collapse because they are oversold and because they don't perform their function, and other places will take the fill that gap. Yeah, I do think that that's going to happen. I think you're seeing it happen right now. It's not going to happen in math and science, and it shouldn't happen in math and science. Those are actual objective fields in which people need to know a body of knowledge in order to do things. So if you're going to medical school, I wouldn't say don't go to college, right? Like that's silly. Or you're going to be a mathematician. Okay, you need to go to college. If you're talking about, I need to go study political science, I'll be a lawyer. I mean, I think that process is at an end. I think that you're going to see alternative ways for people to approach this sort of stuff. I mean, I went to the best schools. I went to UCLA. I went to Harvard Law. I've seen sort of the scam that is, what's valuable in there and what's not. And the universities have signally failed in their proper function, which is to both teach critical thinking and also to teach a certain set of values. I mean, all these universities were in fact founded as Christian universities, right? All the major universities in the West were originally founded as Christian universities, and it's right there in their mottos. If you look at the motto for Yale, you're looking at a motto that is about biblical truth. If you're looking at the motto for Harvard, which is Veritas, you're talking about biblical truth, right? I mean, and so these were all abandoned in favor of sort of, we're going to train out good workers, but we are going sort of John Dewey education. But instead of even doing that, then it became, okay, well, now these are just places where you go to live the college experience, and then you get really, really indebted, so you have to go to grad school or get a job in a particular field. I think that's all going to come crashing down. It's going to start with employers. So I say this all the time to employers, business people. If you don't like what's going on in the universities, stop hiring based on where they got their degree. Like in our own company, we don't do that. We're not going to hire you because you went to Harvard as opposed to going to JUCO, or not going to college. Right? So both of his partners didn't go to college. Jeremy went to college, he didn't finish. Caleb didn't go to college at all. So I don't think that is a great proxy for good performance or intelligence even anymore. Really, what the colleges have become is a sorting mechanism. Right? You get a certain SAT score, you go to Harvard. You get a certain SAT score, you go to Vanderbilt. Right?
It's like a stamp.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of it's credentialism. It's created massive credentialing inflation because now you need a college degree in order to be a barista at Starbucks. Which is ridiculous. You don't need a college degree to do that. So instead of basically college has become the new high school and grad school has become the new college, and it's prolonging childhood indefinitely. And what you're learning at a lot of this place.
Okay.